All right, we will start. We got
We
the
will?
box. Yep, we will. Only if you allow that, Sin.
I suppose.
Doesn't matter. You're just going to play anyways, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm finishing an EAZ run.
Mm.
I'm trying to get my perps done.
Stop perping on people.
At least got my first 3 blue sets done, or my first 3. At least I
hold
got
on,
all
hold on,
3.
hold on.
Hold on. Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Almost.
Sin likes to blow his load early. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to episode 118 of the Guardian Hub podcast. See, I did that so we could have some laughs right out of the gate where we talk Destiny. Sin likes to tell all the good stuff before the show, so we have to start the show on time. This week we have KingsleyMac and DesRaven. How are you guys doing?
Oh, God, about to die over here. Thanks to that little stunt. Jeez.
Mhm.
It sounds like we're pretty magical after all that.
Yeah.
Right?
I had to hold Sin back. He was about to pop, and so let's start the show.
Wow. You need
Wow.
to triple pause that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's nothing that exciting. Sin, what were you saying before the show? What have you been up to?
We can get into that part of this, I guess, the segment you could call it. But
Oh, look at you. You're all official now. So you actually have other stuff to talk about besides the game?
Segments.
Well,
No,
I
not
agree.
really.
Yeah.
I mean,
not really. You're like, pause, but not really.
Pause, but not really. No, just pause with your provocative comments.
It's true, yeah. Well, I mean, tonight I am drinking a proper brewing company. They call it a brunch beer, but it's basically a grapefruit flavored wheat ale. Pretty good.
What's a brunch beer?
Well, yeah,
I mean, do
think it's
people
'cause it
that
has
did-
grapefruit in it? That's why.
I mean, do people legitimately like try and find excuses to drink beer whenever?
Probably. I mean, you got mimosas for breakfast and for brunches and things like that. So, and that's, I mean, that's early-ish, right? People will have those. Now in Utah, they don't allow those to be sold until I believe it's 11 a.m. So the brunch places, there's all sorts of weird rules here. So the brunch places, when they advertise the mimosas, they can start their brunches earlier, but they can't start selling the mimosas until it may be 10. But I think it's 11.
I mean, we'll talk
Kinda
about
funny.
weird. Yeah, I come from the South. The South has very weird alcohol like rules and such. Like there's certain counties where you can't buy alcohol on Sundays, but then there's certain areas where you can buy it at about noonish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what?
Well, I guess it's kind of good. You could travel a little bit. It's the whole state of Utah. Nothing is on Sundays.
Oh.
Well, I take that back. I mean, yeah, when you say you can't buy alcohol, what does that mean? Like, do you have state liquor stores, or is that like?
In certain, I mean, we have dry counties where
so
No.
you can't even like gas stations
Yeah.
or grocery stores.
no, unless you
Oh.
go out of county and buy it from a different county. Yeah, we have entire counties where you cannot buy, like on a Sunday.
Wait,
If
so
you're
the stuff is
unfortunate.
there in the fridge, you just can't buy it. Is that how it is?
Exactly.
Okay, that is okay. So yeah, I mean that is weird too. Ours is we have only certain beers, well, all beers, and that's basically it. Beers is the only thing you can get in gas stations and grocery stores. If you want any kind of liquors, spirits, anything else, wine, they only sell those at the state-run liquor stores. But
Yeah.
those are the ones that aren't open on Sundays. So I guess
Yeah.
in some aspects, it's similar-ish. So you can never get wine on a Sunday anywhere in Utah if you don't already have it. So, but wait, the bars can serve it. You just can't buy it. So I don't know. It's weird. Anyways,
I think ours is we can't do anything at bars or stores until 1 o'clock
That sounds about right.
on a Sunday.
Yeah.
you're not allowed to do at the stores.
I mean, you got to wait for get a proper church service in. That way, then you can drink your alcohol.
Yeah, praise the Lord first, and then you can buy your alcohol. Set the priorities.
Oh man!
Well, that was our talk, I guess, of what's going on.
No, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of alcohol,
yeah. Any other interesting things? Sin, you taking over the world yet with your new job?
Not yet. Not yet. It's steady, going steady though.
Getting any action from it yet?
No, the training is intense. Like I'm just now getting ready to do a 20-hour course in mortgages, basically, and then after that, I should be able to get placed. I think, unless they have more training. They did say it was going to take upwards of 3 months to finish the training, so we'll see. It's kind of making me anxious because I don't really make any money until I'm actually doing my job.
Yeah.
Well, then do your job. But
I can't. They got me handcuffed. Pause.
Hey.
There you go. Sorry.
Welcome in. We wanted to invite you in to say hi.
Hi.
Everyone who is not sure who this is Nitedemon from the Two Titans and a Hunter podcast. And we wanted him to say hi because he's our best friend in the whole wide world.
Oh, thank you. You're not my best friend, though. My best friend's my wife. And I'm contractually obliged to tell you all that.
Yeah,
contractually obliged.
Yep. No, seriously, she is. But
so this is a little preview for anyone listening, but we will definitely want to get you on as a proper guest sometime down the road, depending on how long you can stay with us tonight. But I do want to ask you, good sir, what have you been doing in Destiny? I know we talked a little bit before the show started, but for what comes on the recording
thing now.
It kind of is. Do you not? Hopefully you don't mind. We just put you on the spot.
No, I'm fine. Yeah, you just have to bear with me because I am working at the same time. So
exactly, no worries, and we'll make sure you sound great. And like I said, we'll have you back as a proper guest. But we like to go by the seat of our pants here, and we like to mix it up. And again, tell us what you're thinking about the event so far.
I'm basically a Destiny shill. I mean, I play the game. It's the only game I do play, and I can't ever complain really. I just enjoy it. So whenever there's content, or even when there's not content, because I've been there since the beginning. House of Wolves, the content drought with Destiny 1, and I think the only time I stopped playing was just before Crota. I played it, completed it, and then there wasn't that much going on. And then as soon as Crota kind of dropped, that was it. I don't think there's been a week that I haven't played since then.
Yeah, that means you definitely are in it. You like the game.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I've come to the realization that the reason why my vault is always filled up is because I do like Crucible, and I'm constantly saving different roles of weapons for when they change the meta, just to see if I've got the god roll.
Yeah.
That's my problem. No one else's.
Oh, I mean, even for someone like me that I don't like to hold on to things, I've been holding on to too many Fatebringers and a few other guns, and I'm even having to get to the point where I might have to go to my vault soon, even though everyone's always talked about that in the past. It may be the first time in my Destiny experience where I might have to do a vault cleanup live on the show next week. No, I don't know.
I think I did that before the start of this year, if I remember correctly. And that wasn't it DestinyRecipes.com that kind of, I think it was that.
Oh,
or
yeah.
One of those sites like went through your inventory with you and told you what to keep. And what not to keep, and
agree or disagree.
you could
and then
you could agree or disagree,
delete
basically.
or move things for you, right? But it could at least give you an idea of what you could delete fairly safely,
right?
And then you'd have
and
to do it.
Basically locked the ones that you wanted to keep.
Mm-hmm.
I think the things with like Fatebringers and that is that they're kind of treasured because they're the ones that you get from the raid. Anything kind of well drops that you can get over and over again are the things that I think are easier to delete. But when you've run a raid, they're the most precious ones. They're kind of, or even if you've done trials, I like when the times that I've actually done trials and I've got like the messengers, I've kept all my messengers. I mean, I don't know why. I think I finally deleted one the other day, and the same with the Vision of Confluence. I was purely just hanging on to it because it was something that I got from one of those activities.
Yeah, it makes sense. Now, Nitedemon, would you like an option if Bungie would allow places like Dim or whatever to let us delete things from the third-party app? I understand why they don't want to, maybe for safety reasons, but maybe we could click a box. I understand what I'm doing. Would you like that option?
No.
Fair.
Even if I know what I'm doing, it causes issues.
Yeah. Understandable. Well, in that aspect, I guess Bungie is protecting us.
Normal size.
And if you need a jet, no worries. Just let us know, or you can just hop off mic. But no, it's appreciate you being here for what it is. What about you, Sin or Des? Would you like that option? I know I would. That's why I bring it up.
I would say yes, because I'm always going through, I'm always having postmaster issues, on character inventory issues. And if I could just delete it from Dim without having to go to the postmaster first, that's just a royal pain in the rear end. I delete 90% of the shit that I get.
Yeah. I hear you.
Des?
I don't know. Part of me says yes, and then part of me, terrified part of me that's going to delete something accidentally, says no. It's not a good idea, but yeah, there's a part of me that says sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and to expand upon that, what if the third-party provider has some bug and they end up deleting everything?
I know, right? I mean, who knows with Bungie's code?
I mean, I'm sure they could add in some lines that say you're only allowed to delete one thing within one thing at a time. Or
sorry about that. That's said some more people.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. And if you have to go, no worries. But it's fun just kind of talking to you about this. We were just asking Des and Sin also what they feel about that. And it definitely could be a dangerous thing if they do allow the third-party providers to delete things in the vault or on your character.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with the one-item protection, so that way the third-party provider could not mass delete everything. I mean, I think that is a nice safe protocol in there. I mean, it's really no different than accidentally deleting something while you're in-game as well. To me, it's really no... I mean, if you can just delete it with a click of the button, then you're like, oh, crap. That'd be the only other thing that would be scary is maybe you misdeleted something, but I've done that in game. I don't need an app to help me do that.
That's why exotics have long timers now.
Right. Yeah, what did I delete recently that I was like, oh crap. I think it was of course it's it's been sunset, so it's only good in the older rates, but the what was the linear fusion that I really liked running that had
Oh,
Line in the Sand.
Line in the Sand. Yeah,
Yeah. Let me check. I hope I didn't actually, but I think I did because I was.
I might have.
Yeah.
I might have deleted that.
My
What
newer
was deleted?
threaded needle's still pretty good, but my threaded needle doesn't have the. It has Vorpal, but Line in the Sand had the one. What is it called? Where other people are guardians around you and gives you increased damage.
Firing line.
Firing line. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they haven't had it on a linear since then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no Line in the Sand. I'm so sad.
Yeah, it's that was a tough pill to swallow. The sunsetting of that season's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, I can't look at that.
yeah, I mean, I definitely also lost like the Still Feather repeater, but thanks to Chroma Rush, and now finally have a replacement to that one. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, still no. Yeah.
All right. Well, what else have we been doing in the game? Now, Sin, do we even want to talk about our embarrassing?
Have you guys done the
experience?
raids?
Yes,
Yeah,
I was going to say, Sin, our embarrassing experience with Master Bog.
Oh my gosh. Let's just say it was worse than day one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And why so, Sin? And then I'll add up on it if.
Let's just say that it's more so than the power difference. The power difference on itself is one thing.
Yeah.
They mentioned, I think when they released it, that it's definitely going to be a challenge. The enemies are going to hit harder. I think not only do they hit harder, but I think they aim a lot better. And they definitely hit hard. Plus the modifiers that you have on it. I know Chaff's one of them, right? No radar. Yeah, I mean, you load in, you're running back towards one of the plates, one hit sniper, you're done. It feels like that bad. And I ended up putting on the sniper or long range resistance on one of my armor pieces, but it still didn't feel like it helped as much. And you have ammo deficiency as well.
Did you see the Fallout video that he put out regarding that would probably help you with that?
I did not.
I think it was an easy farm video for master difficulty. Master farming, easy really. And I just watched it for curiosity, basically. But it was like have 2 like chess pieces ready to go before you rally a flag. So you have your chess pieces and your ammo economy things up to the max. You have the mods on that grant you more ammo. Once you've rallied the flag, you then swap it over to another chess piece that then has the mods on that give you the protection from like snipers and things like that, so that you are using that kind of glitch where it will give you the extra ammo when you rally the flag, but then you can swap out and have the mods that give you the protection.
Oh, that's excellent.
After.
That's brilliant.
Nice. But the problem is, during plates, there is no rally banner.
Yeah,
We can't even get past that.
So you're right, Sin. Now, I don't know so much that they hit more accurately, but people were running the numbers, and something's different about the power delta in this master version, where they were showing the enemies hit harder and we hit less hard in comparison to other activities. They were like, someone had a spreadsheet that they were showing, and let me tell you, even Larry at 1355-ish, because he's crazy, man. He has plus 33 on his artifact.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got people that are up high or not.
Even at 1350 plus, he was almost insta-dying. And
wow.
The rest, we were kind of frustrated. It was like, and I've seen a little bit of this on Twitter. I mean, I get it. Master is supposed to be even harder than hard mode, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't think many people are going to get a clear on this, like regular players, like the A- B level raiders, until next season at least, because when we have to be 1350, 60, 70 to really have a good experience in the raid.
You're probably going to have to be 20 over to even have a shot.
Wow. That's not going to happen, is it?
No.
With regular players, anyway. I think I get to like about 23 on my artifact of my light normally, and I'm just under the max for my gear score. Normally, I've reached the max on my gear score a lot quicker this year. This season. But I'll probably get to about like 22, 23 on my artifact.
A couple other things I want to mention about it, and also, no one in my circles that I've seen has passed it yet. Only streamers. Even some people that I know, they're pretty hardcore raiders. I won't mention any names, but a couple people that I know, I don't think they've gotten to clear yet. The farthest I've heard groups get to is one group was kind of like around Gatekeeper. Another group was around the one right before Templar. But so even the first encounter, yeah, you're right, Sin, it's all these other modifiers too. We have overloads and anti-barriers in the raid, and even the first area plates had overloads that started coming at us. So we almost got to a point where we could hold down plates, almost, if we were really careful.
Almost.
From the Hydras and the the Cyclopses, and then all the ads. But then an overload would come running at us and totally ruin everything because, again, we couldn't take them down like super quick.
Did they do with what they did on day one with the Cyclopses? They literally just, as soon as you killed them, they spawned straight back in.
It felt like that. They were coming back fairly quick.
Yeah.
So there's also match game, champions, mob, chaff, and air superiority, which we didn't even run into that technically yet in the first plates area, but that would have been super crazy in later encounters.
Is it? Do you think it's going to change each week? Are they changing the modifiers each week so that maybe next week it won't be chaff, maybe it'll be something else?
Well, that's a good question. That would be fun because that
you say it'll be fun.
Easy. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun until they drop those balls of light on the floor that you have to run over to collect to get your health back.
Okay, see, the thing about it is once you've run it's annoying if you don't have a lot of experience, and that's the week you have to run it. But I enjoyed that in Eater of Worlds because it was a way to run the raid again and add some challenges for us.
Yeah, but I don't think this, by what you're saying, it doesn't compare to Eater of Worlds, because Eater of Worlds, even C-class teams, I think, could still get through the hard mode.
Yeah, you're mostly right. Eater Worlds is pretty easy.
It was that jumping puzzle at the beginning, wasn't it? If you couldn't get that through that with any team, you thought, well, I'm not going to be able to get through any other bit.
Basically, right. There were so many times we were in that jumping puzzle for so freaking long.
And then you always got that one guy that went, I can leap from this platform right over there. It's like, there's no point because it doesn't start the encounter. Just come back. Just come back now. Please.
Or Sting going, oh shit,
there.
He stood on a plate too early.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was jumping. No. Did you see him jump? No. Why are you jumping then? Although I'm not, to be honest, I'm not one of the, I'd rather let somebody else lead. If I'm in the LFG group, I'll kind of stay quiet and let other people lead and let me get frustrated with everybody. But my frustration is there. I'll normally stay until at least one person leaves. I won't be the first person to leave.
Mm-hmm. Well, Nitedemon, what about regular Vault of Glass? Have you gotten a clear on it yet?
Yeah, I think I got it cleared just after the first week. I couldn't get back to do like the raid clear on the first day or the first week, but I think it was the Tuesday reset that I managed to kind of get some time to go and do it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's I enjoyed it. I was hoping to kind of get the Vex Mythoclast on the first drop because that's what happened in Destiny 1 for me. And I didn't even know what the gun was when I got it. But...
Oh, one of those people.
Yeah.
Right on. What do you think of the raid? How did you like it compared to D1?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that they've added a few twists to it. You know, you can't just sit up on a ledge and snipe. You have to actually be down there this time, and they've changed the Gorgons up slightly. And what I don't understand, though, is they had a perfect opportunity to put in that last hidden chest that they alluded to for so many years, and they didn't do anything with it. And the same with the plate that was way off in the distance with that we thought we could look through, that was the Whisper on the other side when we were in the Whisper mission. They had an opportunity to do something like that. I think I was speaking to the guys on our show that it would have been a perfect opportunity for them to totally reinvent the Vault of Glass, because we had to go back there and maybe you had to go through different portals, and it wasn't even tied to the season, which is confusing since we've had a Vexy style season. It doesn't make sense.
I feel like Vault of Glass was just something that Luke Smith wanted to bring back for a while, and then it finally just happened. And then it just happened. They're like fitted in the game, you know.
But I mean, I think Des would probably agree that they could have tied it in with Courier, you know, being able to replicate different timelines and different, bring back people like the possibility of Oryx coming back because she has ability. Why didn't they kind of tie it into she's re-enabled the Vault of Glass because they're trying to bring Atheon back because he's a key to something else and we have to go there and stop it? And then similar to how the Dreaming City went, that, you know, the first Guardians went in and they stopped it, and then it had a consequence for later on in the season, but nothing like that happened. And I think that was the only kind of disappointment, is you could see that they have potential to do things like that. And I know time and money comes into it, but it would have been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%. And actually, they didn't even. The bad thing about Vault is they didn't even have to go that detailed. They didn't really even have to tie it into the season at all, because I mean, Season of the Undying had multiple timeline variants of the Undying Mind. The exact same thing had been posited in D1 about Atheon anyway. So I mean, it's there already. It's just, yeah, it's kind of weird. But I don't know, because I would have loved to some kind of. I mean, because I was expecting, because once we found out like this season was going to be a Vex season, it's like, oh, perfect opportunity. I mean, perfect, but no, nothing. I mean,
I feel like too they're just setting a precedence for having this Legends tab where they can use that excuse to just bring stuff back, but not really add it into story. It's just, oh, it's back because it's a legend activity that was around at some point. If you don't know why it was originally, too bad. It's just here again now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to that, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've basically convinced myself it's like, that's better than nothing, you know?
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
I mean...
Yeah, it is better than nothing, but you could see that where they're bringing back the old raids, there is a possibility of tying those threads into Destiny 2. And yes, reprise them, but maybe tweak them slightly to, like we've just said, with the story of what's coming up in the seasons. I mean, they've got the potential of bringing back Crota. They've got the potential of bringing back Kingsfall as well. But if they tied it into the story, like the Witch Queen's back, but then Quarrior has kind of done something else that then has re-enabled the fact that we then have to go back and defeat a shadow version of Oryx, or this other version of Oryx, or a taken version of Oryx, something that's different, but we still have to, it still has that feel. Maybe, you know, when we get to the end of the Thrallway, it takes us to somewhere else. There's a new part of the level before we can get to the bridge crossing, so that it extends that raid further from what it originally was. You know, and then the same with Kingsfall. They could change that up. They could, because we have to go through a portal, it could take us to somewhere else in the Dreadnought and do different things, but add to the story as well. So we're following the Witch Queen, and maybe it isn't Oryx that we fight at the end, final battle. Maybe it's one of his sisters. There's so much potential there.
There is, in some aspects, that could be almost less work, although we do have to expect them to have a new raid also, but then this could be the second raid or one coming back, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure that if they bring back the dreadnought, they've got the potential of changing areas or adding areas or blocking off areas that we originally could get to, which would then add a bit more depth to that area of people, a bit like they were going to do with the Cosmodrome. Maybe it starts off as a smaller area, and adds to different areas, but then over time, during the next 2022, we can open up the parts of the dreadnought again and explore where we originally went, and it does different things, or we go and do different things in those areas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Any other thoughts on that? Were you going to say something, Des?
No,
No worries.
because it just kind of enters an entire. I don't know, because like I said, it enables an entire like two focuses of mine, or essentially the fact of, do you want to bring in content to expand on it, or are you bringing in content just for the fan service? And obviously for EDZ, for Vault, they went with the latter. They're bringing back content for the fan service. They're the nostalgia factor for the D1 veterans. Which, yeah, it would be great, like, in my opinion, to have some variations to some of these stuff, to find out something new. But also at the same time, you can't deny the fact that there would be a potentially significant portion of the population that would absolutely abhor the new and absolutely want the old back anyway. So I can at least see that entire thing, potentially.
Yeah, I haven't really talked to anyone who hasn't liked the changes in Vault, but I can imagine there are some people. Vaulted Glass was never my favorite raid in D1, so I think it's a million times better now, the changes they made. But I could see, though, more like if they changed up, I don't know, but I'm sure most people think they changed Vault in a pretty good way. But saying if they changed like Wrath of the Machine in some weird way that we didn't like, I could see it being a possibility of being like, oh, I liked it the old way better.
I can't imagine that they would change it in a negative way. I'd imagine if they brought it back, they would approve. I mean, obviously, small improvements, right? I mean, you can't. I mean, obviously, the fact that you can add in champions now, but I'm sure the look and feel of it would be what we come to expect out of Destiny 2. Yeah. I would love that. I would love the fact if they brought back Wrath of the Machine.
Really? That's never come up before, right?
Right. Newsflash.
Never. My Dr. Pepper and cream soda agree. It's never come up before.
So, while we've been talking, I, beamed down to the Elsinki quarters because I wanted to talk about this week. What's kind of happened. I guess you can kind of say it's part of the story. Not really. Not much has happened, but okay. As we kind of guessed, the tower is lit up. What the reasoning is for that, I don't know. It could be because we stopped the endless night for now, and because it's the celebration of the solstice. Yet, if you go to the last city area, those Elsinki quarters, still endless night. What's going on?
Come on, Des. Shed some light.
Ava Levante is the true end boss of Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And there's some slight changes. There is a huge fallen ship in the back that's basically docked down. And I think there's a smaller one up front, one of the small ones too. I don't remember if that one was there before, just near the main building off to the right. There's the tank and a small fallen skiff, but there's the huge one in the back. And that is and I think was the 3 new scannables this week, or were they there and I just missed them? There's the weekly challenge to get the 9 scannables, and I had to scan 3 more.
Yeah,
but I think they were there, but they were there. They've been adjusted, or they've been affected by the ongoing story of what's been happening. Like the ether tanks that you had to rescan were the ones that were blown up. The traveler effigy, that's part of Elixir culture, that was smashed. So I mean, you basically, the things that I've noticed that needed to be rescanned were affected, basically.
I mean, we already kind of know, if anyone's looked at spoiler things, that more stuff will be going on in the season.
Oh yeah.
I think it's cool that at least there were some small changes in here this week, but it's a little perplexing for I don't feel like there was enough obvious stuff presented to us on why it's looking like this here. So I guess we just have to wait and see. And why is the tower bright? Is that just temporary or is it permanent?
What do you mean by bright?
Well, like the endless night is gone in the tower. It's back to the original thing.
Oh yeah,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I was speculating, because at the end of last week's story, who was it? It was Zavala or Saint or someone said, well, thanks for ending the endless night. I'm paraphrasing. It'll take some time to clear up or something like that. And that's very convenient. And then this week starts the solstice event. So now it's all happy and bright. It goes hand in hand almost. But again, is this temporary in the tower?
Well, temporary until solstice ends. But then I think I was messing about with Respawn and Hazel last week on our show, saying that Arf's got this theory that it is definitely Eva Levante is, the skin suit of Savathun, and she's been walking amongst us. And then piecing it together, that the last time I think there was a piece of law that came up about her, about somebody walking through the city as Savathun, just walking through, was at Christmas during the dawning. And then it just seems so convenient that she's back in the tower just when the endless night finishes, and it's all kind of disappeared. Just so coincidence. Everything pointing to Osiris. Osiris is the baddie. Osiris is the baddie. And then she's the one that comes back in the tower.
I'm going to beam down to the tower right now and speak to Eva Levante. Have a word with her.
Yeah, you tell her. She's being watched.
All she wants to do is have me buy bounties. Looking good, Eva. All right. Speaking of, I haven't done much solstice myself yet. I'm slightly interested. At first, if you would have asked me a week or two ago, I'm like, I am not interested in all, but I don't know. I think I'll do it because they're not too bad. And of course, I'm slightly interested now that one of the end ones is run the raid, right? I'm like, yeah, sign me up.
Well, it's not that hard, considering I have 3 purple sets right now. So I finished last night and today. I finished my Warlock and my Hunter blue sets. Mm-hmm. After you finish the first one and get your first purple, the other blue ones seem to go easy. I guess there's a multiplier that's applied to the completions.
Yeah, Eva's got it in her inventory, hasn't she?
Yeah, I was just about to say, which we know Sin being Sin here, who we had to teach live how to do transmog. But no.
So he's the Respawn of the show. Then he doesn't listen to his own show.
Sometimes.
Now, in my defense, they did patch the transmog issue, so I don't want to hear it.
Yes,
so he was on site and he couldn't figure it out. See, I feel like I still would have figured it out, but I guess he really needed those tips. He wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise.
Yeah, tips, tricks, and guides. But I think it's you're going to talk about the medallions on Eva that open up as you complete them. Yep.
Yes, because this year for the solstice, I was about to say dawning for whatever reason, but no, this year for the solstice, they make it excruciatingly obvious that whenever you complete a rarity set of the solstice armor, the other like you go from blue to purple, your other blue sets will go faster. And if you have 2 sets from blue to purple, that third one is going to go even faster. So they definitely make it super obvious this year that mechanic is in place with those medallions. You know, if you read the medallions.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got it, Sen, right? You know what's going on.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I did my blues first. Now I'm getting ready to do my first set of purple. I'm doing the Titan right now. I'm doing it live while we're on the show. This one is taking me a little bit of time. I did a couple of battlegrounds. Now, Des, you did give me a pointer. Battlegrounds was 34%. I did too. Got a little bored with it, so now I'm doing a strike.
I mean, that's fair. Also, for people on that step, Wrathborns are 24%, which is kind of okay because they go by pretty quickly. Anywho.
Oh, yeah. Not a bad idea. I might have to do that, actually. I'm a little bored of Battlegrounds, although it's been a hot minute, but still, Wrathborns are very quick.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a separate bar, but because you still have to do either Battlegrounds or
gotcha.
whatever the crap. Yeah.
Well, I haven't even looked at it much.
No, sorry. But no, yeah, like the objectives don't so far seem super bad, but of course I am only on. I haven't played a super lot, but I am only on the Majestic set, so I'm only on the first purples. Even though I'm almost done with them. By almost done, I mean I need one more Wrathborn and then collecting orbs and playlists. So yeah, that's the thing. I might actually finish this live. Anyhow.
Have you done the high celebrant version of the Wrathborn?
Yes, that was the first one I started on. It was still 25%.
That gives you 25, yeah, and then the other one, just a normal Wrathborn.
25.
20%, I think. Is it?
No, 25.
Gave me 20. Gave me 20%.
Well, I am doing tier 2s, so maybe that's why I'm getting 25. I don't know.
Maybe. I didn't even look at the one that I was doing. I just picked it because it was on the Dreaming City. And I thought, I can go and kill a couple of high bosses there.
Yeah, well, I think the word is that it'll be, for anyone who just gives us a fair amount of time, it won't be too bad to accomplish whatever we need to do, especially since we have basically a month to work on this.
Oh, yeah.
Through August 3rd, pulling up our handy-dandy calendar again. And then August 3rd is a week of Iron Banner. And then August 10th. Yeah, Iron Banner. Sorry. Didn't want to. I know you like Iron Banner.
I love the Iron Banner.
But then August 10th, more stuff. Epilogue.
More stuff.
More stuff.
Some kind of stuff.
Who doesn't like more stuff?
Yeah, stuff.
Ooh,
In
stuff.
fact, we found out that we will be finding out about lots of stuff on August 24th.
Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah, right? Well, I mean, potentially anyway, right?
Well,
Yep.
you think we're going to find out some stuff?
Oh, it better not just be a teaser. It says a showcase. I'm sure they'll tell us a fair amount.
AKA teaser. That's what showcases are.
No, don't ruin it, Sin. Don't ruin it.
No, it's probably going to be like concept art.
That's it. A 5-minute video of just slideshow of concept art.
They're going to tell you who Savathun is walking around in the city. That Eva Levante skin.
Oh no, we're going to find out before Witch Queen.
You know, every time somebody says they're walking around in like that person's name suit, I always go to Men in Black.
All right.
Here comes the Savathun.
He's definitely not a
all along.
Yeah.
So, what about this title, Survive the Truth? Is that speculation, just something that's happening end of this season for what we're learning, or is that going to be some big tagline in the next DLC? Survive the Truth.
I mean, I can give my theory, but knowing how this all ends, I refrain to answer that question.
Have you been
so
to
far,
Is this where you're playing coy?
No, but I have I'm 100% playing coy because I've read all the I know what happens at the end of the season.
You've read all the lore pages and things.
Yeah, I've read lore pages. I've read the first week this season came out. I read all the text information of like subtitles and crap in this season. So yeah, and so far I've done really good. I haven't spoiled anything for anyone.
Good
I've
boy.
done really good.
Yeah,
We
right?
can talk after the
For
show.
myself.
I gotta hear this.
Finn.
I like to know.
You act
For like a
this
month.
is news. You could have asked us a long time ago. Sin just got excited this time for some reason. I
Right,
just caught him
right.
somewhat paying attention.
It's been almost like a weekly catchphrase for me since the season started.
Oh wait, Des, you know what's going to happen?
Yeah, I don't know. Stuff's broken.
Seats taken.
He's taken.
Oh, I give
Well-
up with this place. There's about 20 different freezers with different stuff in it, and they've changed all the ranges. And I'm like, where's this? Why can't they just put it all in the same bloody freezer that the old range was in? I'm going insane looking for it. I've been in about 3 different freezers.
Mm.
They put
Oh,
loads
sounds like
out
fun.
of stuff that I haven't even got. I've no idea.
Yeah. Do we want to go over? Don't worry. Yeah, let's go over. There's not much in the Twab, but we can go over a few things. I want to talk about a few of these concepts. There's a lot of art in the Twab because.
Crap! I didn't read the
Oh,
12.
yes.
Well, there's not really. Don't worry about Des. I mean, we can
Okay,
just
cool.
kinda- it's a light one. They
You can
say
re-
again, but
You can recap me this time.
yes. Well, that's why I kind of brought up first the very top of the Twab. They hello, by the way. Shout out to Helios in the live chat. He says hello to everyone, especially Nick.
Oh, it is.
Hello.
Glad to have you here in the chat, Helios. But yeah, in the Twab, they start off at the top telling us about the thing that they already told us a few days before August 24th. There's going to be information on, let's see what they use for their words. Okay, for describing this. We look forward to sharing more with you about the future of Destiny 2. Okay, so that doesn't mean much. It could be a lot,
Right.
it could be a little.
Could be anything.
Yep. They always use that word future of Destiny 2, though. It's like something big going to have to change again. They're like, I don't know. But
Biggest teaser ever.
all right. They also mentioned that we're doing the solstice. Guardians are buzzing around the European aerial zone. Oh, by the way, how about those chests staying lit up now at the end of the
Yes.
EAC activity?
And those blue light things on the floor that you can just run over.
Yes.
They throw you up in the air.
Yeah,
Where were
Yeah.
they 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
exactly.
Right? I thought they were new, and it's like, oh my god, this is great.
This is why we lost Iron. Because we had to have those in the game.
Oh my gosh.
Content.
What was it?
What was that?
Huh?
I don't know. Maybe say it again. Maybe you cut off for Sin.
Yeah, it cut off a
Oh,
little bit on mine.
I said that's the reason why we lost IO, just to make way for those
Totally.
little cannon things. Yeah,
Oh, right.
on the EAZ. One of
But these are
the
good quality of life things. I've only done one EAZ activity yet, and at the end, I was like, wait a second, the chests are still showing for a second. I didn't know if it was just a bug, a one-time thing, or design. But I'm like, hey, we're running with this. And I
Right.
forget how many we had. It was like 11 or 12, and we kind of like, even though I was playing blueberries, we just kind of knew to go to different areas, and we got them all very easily since they were lit up. I'm like, this is nice. And then I read shortly after that it's intended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I try and do the show like as late as possible on a Saturday, so that I can collate as much information after the trial comes out. Because there's always stuff that DMG goes onto Reddit or goes onto Twitter and goes, oh, we missed this from the patch notes, we missed it. I think literally on Tuesday after it dropped, when they were having those issues, it came out on Twitter that, oh, by the way, those chests are going to stay up all the time. It's like, why could you not have told us this in the 12? This is what I don't get. I mean, I tried to collate as much information from the last 2 years of the solstice with all the different armor pieces, because for the last 2 years they've kind of basically copied and pasted what you had to do for each set, up until the Magnificent set, where it was the only thing that they kind of changed last year. But it was literally copy and paste. You could just follow it, dot to dot. And then this year, credit to them, they did actually change it up with what you actually had to do. And I suppose half of that was to do the fact that we lost some of the stuff to the content vault, and they couldn't just say go to IO and do 20,000 public events. But it was like they actually incorporated other stuff into it. You can either do this or you can do that, which is quite nice.
That is, yeah. And I haven't even done the fun triumph where last year people were glitching into the cat statue or the cat down below. Where do you get to that? Is it obvious? I heard there's like a pipe you have to jump down or something.
Yeah, the little, as you spawn in, and there's a crack in the ground. Okay. Literally, as you're kind of dropping down, if you follow the path down, slightly to the left of you, there's a path that's kind of cracked and the earth's opened up. If you follow it to the furthest point of the crack and just drop down, you'll hit the path that goes underneath, and you'll go through where the grate was before, because I think I watched the Froggy video that you had to kind of glitch through with the sparrow to get to beforehand. But yeah, it's all open up, and then once you've collected the cat statue, if you turn around and go to the left, there's one of those teleporters that then just kind of drops you from the sky somewhere.
Ah.
So you don't even have to fiddle away to try and get back out. They put a teleporter in there.
Yeah. Excellent.
Apparently that cat's been there since the EAZ. So
yeah, ever since they spawned it, and I think they were going to do something with it originally because there was so much speculation, but they never did anything for the last couple of years with it.
Yeah. All right. So that's that. And then they go on to talk about Bungie Day was yesterday when they wrote this on Thursday because it was Wednesday. They kicked off a new charity initiative with some cool incentives, showed off some new merchandise in their store, and put out a call for you to share your hashtag Bungie Memories and hashtag Bungie Day Art with us on social. And we gave out that, unfortunately leaked before, but free spicy ramen emblem to everyone. Then I saw
they haven't put a time or date on that, have they, when that expires?
I haven't gotten it yet myself.
Me either.
It may be just one of those codes, because there's a lot of codes. I think a couple of months back we found somebody posted in one of the chats of, if you go to this website, it gives you all the codes that are available from Beyond Light through to now of what you can just get free emblems for. It'll probably be one of those that's available forever.
Probably, yeah.
I would hope so. All things considered. I mean, yeah. But hey, we can now officially, use it, wear it, have it, rock it.
Yeah. All right. And they talk about, we mentioned that we had a new community artist series go live on Bungie Day. This is where we partner with creators to offer merchandise featuring their awesome artwork. And they go on to talk about a few here. They have one with Mithrax that kind of has like this 80s style artwork to it, at least in my opinion.
But isn't it called Enemy of My Enemy?
Yes.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that art. Thought it was nice. Yep.
And he basically said, as a kid, the person who created it, as a kid growing up in the 80s and a fan of synthwave music, I really enjoyed the retro wave inspired visuals of Season of the Splicer. He says more about it, but that's basically the inspiration for creating that artwork.
I mean, that's fair. We definitely compared it to Tron when it first came out, so.
Mm-hmm.
Which is definitely like almost epitome of mid-ish 80s sci-fi.
Totally. And then the next one is similar-ish. The art title is called E, but it's basically the expunge and has, again, a very Tron-looking 80s style. And this person doesn't really talk as much about their inspiration, but how they enjoy creating artwork for Destiny. And This one is by, well, I can't pronounce this. Sorry, I shouldn't have tried. Is this Russian? Katrina Debachamil or something like that.
If it's Russian, there's no telling.
Yeah. All right, on to the next one. Smolens, a Smolin t-shirt by Jen Whaley. The art title is called Children of the Tower, and it shows 3 baby Elsinki in little swaddling clothes with a ghost around them. So cute.
Oh, am I blind, or is the Baby Elixni Lion King emote new?
Oh,
Or
That's new.
it is.
That's hilarious.
Right?
Because from the moment I saw it, it's just the music from the Lion King like pops into my head, or should I say the chant from the Lion King?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to get that. I probably won't, but that's an awesome one that they created that.
It's 1,000 silver on the Eververse, right?
I don't know.
I think it is.
All right. This one's based off of a cutesy kawaii artwork style that this person made. All right. And then there's much more, of course. But then they go on to talk about, speaking of art, we have a couple of extra little Bungie Day gifts for you. A day late, but who says we can only give you things on Bungie Day? We know you like decorating your phones and desktops. We made a couple of wallpapers for you. And this first one totally looks like, oh, now I forgot what I was going to, what's the 80s movie with David Bowie?
Labyrinth?
Labyrinth. This looks like Labyrinth artwork where it says Bungie on it. Do you have the Twab pulled up, Jez or Sin? I'm curious.
I do not.
I did not pull it up. I remember seeing it. I do remember seeing those. You're talking about it says Bungie and it has like the little 3 hashes next to it.
Yeah, and it has like little lightning bolts. To me, it just reminds me of Labyrinth for some reason.
I didn't get the Labyrinth vibe, but
all right, I don't know why, but it is a screenshot or like a background you can have for your phone or for your computer, and then they have another one that is the Bungie icon, but it's kind of like digitized, kind of in that style with lines coming up.
Nice.
I'll probably do that one on my computer desktop. It's been a while since I've changed my computer desktop with some Bungie artwork.
yeah, I probably should. I think I have the original background on my computer from when I got the computer.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, of course, we all know we were having that weird issue with triumphs popping up again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Some of us have a bunch of extra like platinum and gold medals for whatever reason.
I got a bunch of. I was able to get some ghosts and sparrows and things again, and dismantled for a bunch of glimmer and stuff.
Good fun.
That was Glimmer, Saving Grace.
It was more than just glimmer, but it was mostly glimmer. I'm actually a little low right now in glimmer. Haven't bothered to talk to Spider. I try to just survive and use my glimmer mod ghost to get more glimmer that way. But because of this whole issue with the triumphs, a side effect also was when we reselected some things in this current season, it opened up the last lore page for this season's story. And it doesn't explain, I don't know if you read it yet, Des. It doesn't explain everything, but it does have some big spoilers. And it allows
Have I
us
read
to
it yet?
also, well, I mean, yeah, if you know which one I'm talking about, I guess is what I meant.
Of course, I know which one you're talking about.
Have you read it to Sin yet?
Have you reread it? Have you read it to Sin? Tell me what it is. It's bedtime story tonight.
So I did read a couple lore pages when they popped. Was it? Just tell me which one again you're referring to, because I think there were.
It's obvious. Don't don't read the one on the
Very
very
last
right.
one.
What's the lore
They
book?
go in order. Sin.
Yeah, no. Which lore book?
Yes,
This
Sin.
number
Yes, Sin.
Well, under the endless night, page 10. If you don't want to have a clue about how the season's going to end, don't read it.
I don't think he will. It sounds like. All right.
Yep. Yeah, I read that. I
Oh.
read that one. Yes. I did
Seriously?
read that one. Yes. I saw a bunch of people in chat talking about it, so I read through the ones. It's the memorial one you're talking about. Yes, I read that.
Thanks. But the side effect too, of course, is now we can have our Splicer title, which I don't know when the original date was planned to have for that, but I would be guessing maybe as late as the August 10th. You know,
I actually can't yet because I still need kills with the armor on, and I have yet to wear the season's armor at all.
yeah. Well, if you've been doing the other stuff now, that's what I meant. But yeah, it is available now. It's not time gated anymore because of what happened. Whatever. It's just the seasonal title. It's
All right.
it was interesting though with this whole thing. But more importantly, let's not worry about that. More importantly, I'm happy about this. Vanguard vendor,
Yes.
Vala, is changing into the new system that Shax and the Drifters have been able to have. They've been beta testing it, and I don't know why Shax took so long to get it, but he will be getting that new system season
He's always
15.
holding out that chat.
What's that?
Isn't he? I said he's always holding out, isn't he, Zavala?
He is, right?
They just keep fighting.
I know. He's like, well, let them do their new thing. I'm just going to be on the old system. Get back to work, Guardians. You know?
It's either one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, I guess whenever you log in or whatever, the game will warn you of that exact thing. That next season, your Vanguard tokens are going to be worthless, so spend them.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So I need to turn in 1,687 tokens.
Okay.
Whatever. I may or I may not. I don't remember if I ended up doing all the.
How many?
1,687.
I have 3,100 still.
Mm.
And I'm not looking forward to doing that. And I did not do that with my Crucible tokens when they did that for that. There's no way.
I mean, for us that we've been playing for a long time, Sin, I mean, we already have so many legendary shards and stuff like that. It's probably not as important to do so, but for the newer players, I definitely recommend getting that all turned in before the end of the season. What are your legendary shards at these days, everyone? I'm at 19,460.
20,007 to 18.
Mm.
See, then this is where I feel bad because having had 3 weeks of not being able to play, I'm still at 11K.
Yeah, that's good enough, right?
They add up quick, especially the legendary shards. If you melt a lot of the weapons you get pretty quick and you don't hoard them, yeah, they'll add up quick.
No. I mean, yeah, but then again, I'm also not the type of person to hoard a bunch of medals like some weirdos.
You weirdo.
Not mentioning any names, Sin or Kingsley.
Kingsley.
Look at this. I'm
Sorry.
already back up to 60,000 glimmer.
I've only got 2,900
Ooh.
shards.
Uh-oh. Do you feel shard poor?
No, not really.
Yeah,
I like to stay around 3.
How many tokens do I have? Oh, I have 169. Nice.
Nice.
I've got
but
more weapon parts than anything else.
Oh, geez. Yeah. So, how many stacks do I have? It's like...
Again, I turned those in. I have... Where are they? Oh, yeah. 339.
Okay, yeah. What was it at first? You could only hold about 1,000. They'd made a new stack or something, but now they're all together. But I have 8,800 weapon parts.
I do have 718 mod components still, though.
Oh, nice. Yeah, some of these things are getting a little long in the tooth. 178 finest matter weave.
Matter weaves have 117.
Already 170 solstice key fragments. They just kind of drop from activities.
Jesus, how did I get 248? I swear I started today with only like 10.
All right. Just a few more things here. Known issues. I don't have to go through all of them, but I'm going to see if any speak to me. I know this is so interesting during the middle of the show. I should have looked at this.
You should consult a doctor if they're talking to you. That cannot be healthy.
Right.
I will say, since it is in the news section, but I found out through a Fallout video, which was excellently timed because it was under a minute long, that explained time lost weapons.
Yes, I watched that one as well. It was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually entirely in depth, succinct, and to the point. Apparently, for time lost weapons, they do accept adept mods, so they are considered adept weapons, which makes sense because it was the elemental exotic primaries from D1 that even started that adept ritual, I believe. And apparently the extra perks that are in the third and fourth column, or the additional perks, are curated.
Interesting.
So every weapon has a set extra second or third and fourth or fifth and sixth. Anyway, the last two perks, your extra perks are always going to be the same. And I think on Fatebringer, it is explosive rounds and Firefly will always be on a time lost Fatebringer as the additional choice.
Nice.
Found Verdict is full auto and Vorpal, which is actually super good. So yeah, very interesting on how they've structured those, because it kind of makes roll hunting very simple, especially if the perk you're looking for is in that curated or in those curated additional perks.
That's if you can even complete the damn encounter.
Yeah.
You'll get there eventually.
What's interesting is that when I was watching, my God, they're literally Destiny 1 weapons. Because remember that in Destiny 1, we had all the different perks that we could select to make our own armor and weapons how we wanted it, and it's exactly the same with these weapons that they brought back. They've just called them time loss.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually, Sin. I mean, sometime this season, get a carry through a group, or next season level up more. Some people are asking already, do you think they're going to raise the raid next season? No, I don't think so. They've never done that with a raid before, and this raid has plenty of difficulty that they can keep it at its power level for several seasons, and it'll still be hard on master mode. It's not like the Nightfalls where there's no new strikes, so the only thing they got to raise it each season, the Grandmasters, to make them stay challenging. But I suspect the raid will stay at its power level for a while, if not forever, and then just fade to the background like the other raids have done.
Well, I was quite shocked that they didn't do anything with the Deepstone Crypt, seeing as the Deepstone Crypt is 6 months old.
Mm-hmm.
When Vault came out, it was like, okay, so you're vaulting new content already. Apart from having, you can go in there and get the weapons and armor, and then you can level it up, but not making it pinnacle stuff off the bat. I didn't get it.
It's really frustrating. They try to use the excuse that, well, the new raid is Vault, so we just want to focus on that. But I feel like in year 1 and 2, when they had the raid layers, they didn't Vault or whatever you want to use the old raids that quickly. And if we look at this, Vault or Deepstone Crypt doesn't give pinnacles, but the Hawkmoon mission will. Come on.
Yep, and you can get pinnacles from the Master Hunts on Europa and the Exo mission. It makes no sense.
Yeah. A little disappointing. I mean, I think the answer was simple. Like, even just do something where they just do a pinnacle +1 instead of a +3 or whatever. There's many ways they could have played it, but to not do pinnacle at all, it just doesn't make sense.
I mean, they could have time gated it, to be honest. They could have gone, well, for the first week, so that nobody's overpowered for the new raid. That one's, even just lock it for that week, so that nobody could get in there. After the vault was unlocked, then, oh yeah, you can go in there and get your pinnacles.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you can use the argument, well, does it really matter? Now we're only getting the +10. Yeah, I get that. That's a whole nother discussion, but still and this will be the same thing next season. Like the fact that it's not giving pinnacles, it just gives some people one less reason to want to run it. Where a lot of times in the past, people I need more pinnacles, so let's run vault. Let's also run deep stone. The people that aren't as much into raiding, I'm like, yeah, now we have more people to raid. But now that it doesn't give pinnacles, I just feel like it's one small reason that people may not want to run it.
Now, also, for those advice for people not wanting to run it just because it won't increase your power level, Deepstone will still give a powerful drop.
Mm-hmm.
So it will still drop at power that can potentially help your power level, just saying in general. But yeah.
And potentially good armor and
spoils,
of course. So there's many reasons. I get it. I just feel like, why did they remove the pinnacle one? It seemed a little pointless.
Yeah.
I mean...
But what I do like now, the fact that I'm at 1320 on my character, that I can actually do anything in the game, and it'll give me 1320 pinnacle or powerful. It'll just give me 1320 without question.
True.
It's like that. I like that part. I like getting to 1320 earlier on in the season, and then having ample time to go through and level everything up if I want to.
Yep.
So, just so long as I get this straight, we only had about a 10 power level power grind this season, and you're wondering why they took away pinnacles?
No, I'm wondering why they took away this one, yet not other ones. They didn't take away Hawkmoon and the raid.
Well, Hawkmoon I can't explain, but at the very least, Europa, that's DLC.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and
like
in year 1
no,
and 2,
wait, Hawkmoon came out with the online, didn't it?
Same time. Yep. Mm-hmm.
No, Season of the Hunt, wasn't it? The one off. Was Season of the Hunt first?
Actually, no, yeah, it was Season of the Hunt. Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, I can't explain Hawkmoon. I can't I can't devil advocate my way out of Hawkmoon.
Anyways, the argument I'm giving is not even so much like what should.
The thing is,
I don't know. I just feel like the raid shouldn't have yet. It's not that old.
No, the thing is, if you are a raider, you are easier to get to 1320 or the max power cap than anybody else a lot quicker anyway. So what is the harm in putting or leaving that raid at pinnacle? Because the players that don't get to do X amount of raids or basically all do the 100k nightfalls and have to rely on doing those other pinnacles that are out there, get there slower. And last season, for the last couple of seasons, I haven't done any raids. Vault Glass is the first raid that I've done since we had the Triumphs go away last September kind of thing. I'd done Crown and all the other ones before, and I really enjoyed Crown. But yeah, I hadn't kind of dipped my toe into Deepstone Crypts, and I haven't really done Last Wish. I've done it once, and done Riven a couple of times extra, but just the raids that haven't kind of drawn me in as much as they used to. But then I really enjoy getting to the pinnacle power.
Speaking of Last Wish, Sin,
I was just thinking about that. As he said that, I was like, wait.
That. We
had a legit rip and go.
Yes. Now, I had done it once before, but I don't really know what happened when I did it. Like, I didn't really participate. Right? I got carried through it. But this time we actually got to participate and do the reading. Know what the symbols are on the ground, counting the eyes, doing the multiple floors. It took us a couple runs, but we ended up having to LFG the 6th for it, and the 6th actually knew how to do it and was pretty helpful.
Which was really good because, come to find out, if we would have just had one person, it would have been a lot harder. It's really, you kind of want two people that know it for it to work well, because you got to split your groups up 3 and 3. So if you have one on each quote team that knows how to do it legit, that makes it a lot better for us figuring it out.
All right.
Yeah, I've never done it legit.
I mean, it was
It's
just
definitely
something to do.
experience.
I kind of wanted to finally just get around to doing it, and it was interesting. I can't say honestly that so many people are like, yeah, once you do it legit, you'll never want to not do it. I'm like, I can't honestly say I'm in that boat yet. It was good. It was fine. But it wasn't like, I don't know. People are saying it's like one of the best raid encounters ever. I definitely can't say I agree with that.
It is a pretty good raid encounter. I'm not going to lie.
It's fine.
My only gripe with doing the cheese is we've spent a lot of time on cheese method before, trying to just get it done in one phase. And I can't say we spent any more time doing it legit.
You mean any less time?
Or yeah, meaning
Well, yeah, because
the cheese hasn't saved us much time comparatively speaking. The last few times that we've run it that I've been there, when we're trying to do the sword method and we're not getting enough damage and you have to wipe, it just doesn't seem like it's saved us much.
Because people aren't setting up right. The cheese method has always been it's must have. Like we always joke about LFG groups must have certain weapons. Yeah. Cheese method is must have certain swords, certain things. It used to be certain rockets or grenade launchers. And so many people forget that, and they come in, it'll be easy, and they're like, oh wait, my fallen guillotine actually doesn't have this, or it's not leveled up, or oh, I'll be fine if I use a different sword. No, use it. Oh, I'll be fine. No, listen to us, and then people just not paying attention. So, and I'll tell you, like when we were doing it regularly, like week after week, and I don't know if you're in my groups, trust me, if you have a normal group, the cheese method guaranteed to be quicker than the legit method. We could always get it done in the first run, even if we had to go to the other room. Almost always, like we'd maybe mess up here and there. But you're right. I think it's just people haven't been running it as much lately. So there's always like the quote relearning. So the cheese method isn't always quicker these days, but it still can be.
Yeah, I would say it's not a normal runner like Vogue is right now, where you're doing it consistently every week.
Yeah.
It's like once in a blue moon now.
Yep. Tend to forget about it. Okay, Last Wish is still in the game. Oh yeah, Dreaming City's still in the game too.
The Hawks asked about Garden of Salvation earlier. I know it never came through. Somebody needed a Divinity run, but we haven't really played that as much either.
Yeah, I have here and there, but you're right. I mean, it's mostly Vogue right now with Deepstone in a distant second, and then the other one's a little bit less.
I did end up jumping into the Deepstone that you were going to help with the other night. I think you were unable to do it, and then I helped with the last 2 encounters. That was interesting. I hadn't done it in a while. Des, yep, you were there.
Yeah,
you took the suppressor role from me. You're like, I always run suppressor. Well, all right.
I have at least 4 other witnesses that would say that is not how that conversation went at all.
Plus, then you should always let a hunter grab suppressor.
Well, I think it was because I didn't use Anarchy the first 2 for the suppressor, and he was like, you can use Anarchy for it.
I mean,
it was like the end encounter or the third?
Yeah, the end encounter.
Oh, the end encounter. Okay.
Yeah. The legit end encounter.
Yeah.
Because we're standing around waiting for the pods to open.
I was a little slow.
It was like, what are you using? Slug shotgun. I'm like, why aren't you using Anarchy?
Yes, Sin.
And I said, oh yeah, I know. I guess you can use that.
But yeah.
Oh boy, Sin. I sometimes wonder how you haven't heard these conversations we've had a million times. Yeah, you want to use anarchy when you're the suppressor. You want to use
I
anarchy
know.
for everything, except for of course, the divinity.
And
operator.
honestly, when I said suppressor, I really meant I wanted to do operator.
Oh, jeez.
And I was thinking about it afterward. I was like, well, I can still do suppressor, whatever. And then Des called me out, and I was like, okay, I'll just run a ball.
Oh my gosh, Nitedemon, I'm so happy you were able to stick around with us for this.
I'm at work for the next couple of hours, so.
Jeez, this is amazing.
He's enjoying this. It's going to make the time go by that much quicker.
It's actually really distracting.
I know, right? I try to play in the game too, like what Sin does, but then I get too distracted to podcast. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that. I tried the other week with Respawn, and I it got too frustrating. I gave up.
Yeah, it can be distracting, especially like right now. I'm doing my third battleground. I'm switching back and forth, looking at my armor, seeing where I'm at. I'm almost done my solar weapon kills. By the way, that Shayora's yes, that is an awesome SMG. I kind of wish it wasn't on the secondary slot. I kind of wish it was a primary slot, but because I don't have a lot of special weapons that I use in the primary slot, so it makes it kind of difficult with my loadouts. But I do like it. It is super stable. It feels nice. It's a nice feeling SMG.
I got a good roll on it. I only had one. I think I'd saved up a bounty, and it was just sitting on my hunter. And I thought, I'll pop it this week just to see what that weapon is, because everyone's talking about it. And I think I got. It's not heating up. It's the other one. I can't remember.
I'll tell you, while you're thinking about it, I'll tell you, mine is tap the trigger and dynamic sway.
To look it up.
It's functional.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It does a thing.
It does a thing.
It definitely does the trick.
Well, it's got kill clip and tunnel vision on it with accurized rounds.
That is
hammer forge rifling, and
Nice.
a reload master rate. Stability on it, 52 is pretty decent.
Yeah, that's actually a really good combo. Or I mean, I was shown the light on that combination of perks because I wasn't entirely sold on tunnel vision. But
no, I wasn't to start off with. Yeah.
But again, watching a Fallout video, and he mentions how the fact that tunnel vision and kill clip work in tandem with each other. You know, you get a kill, you reload, and all of a sudden your gun is just like amazing. More aim assist, more damage, more everything.
I am a god.
I know, right? So yeah, that was, and I'm just now upgrading my set from Majestic to Magnificent.
Nice. I'm not far behind you, sir. I will be there in probably the next 30 minutes or so.
Nice.
So man, I see you just, I haven't had a chance to listen yet, but you guys just recently had episode 128 with Hazelnut on your show.
Ooh, Hazelnut.
How was that?
Sounds like a nerd.
Oh,
he might be working.
No worries.
Or have somebody there at work.
I should have checked to see if he was muted. But yeah, we do want to, when he comes back, if he does, thank him for being on and ask about his show some more. What else do we have to talk about? Anything before we start wrapping up for tonight? Went through the Twab, went through what Sin's doing.
I will say, I really like just, I guess, general opinions and thoughts on this year's solstice, even though this year I do feel like I feel they've made a lot of like good quality of life improvements. And by that I mean showing the chests at the end, which you will not believe the backlash of people that don't like that on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, like back in my day, we had to find them.
right.
And everyone's like, yeah, but now blueberries actually have a chance to get you all the chests. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with this. Like, get over it. Like, oh, it's too easy to find the chest. It's like, A, you're a liar. B, if you're not a liar, you've already ran this way too much to have memorized all those freaking mazes of the freaking area that is. So screw you. But I still love you. But no, I mean, it was.
I like how you said it. Yeah, quality of life for sure.
Yeah. Again, the bounce pad's amazing. The fact again that you can actually see through the upgrades. The catch-up mechanic for the armors that, we had to wait like a few days for someone to get them and be like, oh yeah, there's a speed-up mechanic after you finish a set of armor. This one goes faster. What else? But also, Solstice does show its age this year. Because I don't think they've changed Ava's voice lines since the very first Solstice, which was very different from when they introduced the EAZ. Back when Solstice was us replaying story missions.
Yeah.
Because here's Ava's talking about how we're reliving our memorable moments, and I'm sitting there going, no, I just killed something in the EAZ. I didn't relive anything. What are you talking about? It's like, Ava, are you okay?
No, she's not. She's 17.
Right? It's like, do you have a stroke or something? I mean, I'm like, whew. But yeah, so very interesting. Like I said, how like the general duality of this year is, at least for me. Also, Prism Day. I don't feel like that was a thing last year.
Oh, was it? Yeah,
I don't remember. I have to question things because as much as I usually don't mind these events as much as other people do or do not, I tend, especially like the first week, they're fun, but second and third week, I'm pretty much brain dead as I'm running them, so I don't remember much of anything. Like I said, I looked at the bounce pads and I'm like, are these new or were these here? I think they're new.
They're new. The bounce pads are new.
Yeah.
Also, they're kind of a pain for hunters to use.
The little
warlocks,
wonky.
Yeah, warlocks have a much better time using the bounce pads so far that I found. Because for some reason on the upward trajectory, it like forces you into a specific momentum. So since the hunter's jump is basically an upward trajectory, you don't really get a jump while you're using the bounce pad. So hunters beware when you're using bounce pads.
Yeah, Helios has a question in the chat. I do feel like I heard this from a bunch of people. Did anyone think the shotgun was meant to be stasis? I don't know why people were talking about that, but
because
I heard that.
Yeah, the trailer. Because they show the shotgun, right. And yeah, like the very next scene was it exploding stasis crystals, which I wasn't completely sold it was a stasis shotgun, but again, the way it was cut made it appear like it could have been, but I wasn't surprised to see it was solar.
Yeah. We did talk about it, you're right, and you mentioned that it could go either way. But yeah, I remember too people talking about it even before we talked about it on the podcast, and guess we now know. But yeah,
Yeah. Also, I don't, with the way they're going right now, also wasn't 100% sure it was supposed to be stasis because they seem to be saving the stasis weapons for exotics. Yeah. And I doubted highly that they were going to so easily advertise an exotic shotgun. Okay, the shotgun looks great. I love the way it looks. But for an exotic, it kind of looks crappy. Just saying. But yeah.
It's my favorite shotgun. No.
I mean, it's not a bad shotgun, to be honest. It's not bad. It's a precision frame, which is actually surprisingly a decent archetype. I mean, considering aggressives got hit, I mean, they might be better now than what they were. But yeah, precision frame, like pellet precision frames, are surprisingly decent.
Okay, now remind me on this too, just in case. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but then I I thought I heard one person was not sure or if they changed it this year, but you do have to wear the armor for it to count for the objectives, right?
Yes, I found that out the hard way.
Even the last step?
You don't have to wear all of the armor, but whatever objective you're trying to complete, you do have to wear that piece of armor. I don't know about the last step. Oh, no, yeah. Actually, the quest doesn't even show you able to advance until you're wearing all of the completed armor.
Yeah, I mean for like things counting. I thought someone said something like you don't have to wear the bond for the last step or something for like.
I don't know, because
I'm on the last step, so just wear it to be safe. You're right. Yeah, you don't have to wear
always wear the armor. Always wear all the armor at all times.
Thank you.
That's even when it's not solstice. Always wear the armor.
Well, I definitely didn't want to wear it in the Master Vogue the other night. I was wearing my better armor there, but I hear you. Otherwise, wear it.
God, it does look great, though. I love the way this armor looks.
That was something else that was nice. That because I was 1320, when it upgraded from the blue armor to the purple set, it gave the whole set at 1320 for me, which was quite nice. I didn't have to then infuse it. So it has the potential, once I've masterworked it, if you get better rolls of it, you know, I can.
Each step actually, because I haven't quite hit 1320 natively. So my blue to purple hit at 1317 for the entire set, and even just getting it from purple 1 to purple 2 to the Magnificent set, it bumped it even further to 1318 for the full set. So for those that are under light, before meditating to upgrade, maybe do some pinnacle rewards and try and bump up your light average just a little bit to get just that little extra edge. Yeah, just get that extra edge and squeeze out just a bit more power.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Nitedemon, I wanted to ask you, as we're getting close to finishing up here, and if you have another quick moment, I saw you guys just released episode 128. I haven't listened to it yet, and you had Hazelnut on. How did that go?
Yeah, that was good. Parody's on holiday for a couple of weeks, so I thought rather than just going me and Respawn, that I'd draft a couple of substitutes in. So yeah, last week we had Hazel, and this week we've got Fuzzco returning from the Frozen Clan to just fill in for Parody, basically.
Nice. So he, Hazel,
Yeah, he did reading. He did reading. He had to read the Twab properly. It wasn't shit's broken and skip. It was, I've got to read it all.
Wow. No.
And I didn't pay much either. It was just like a thank you here and there, and that was it.
Nice.
A good smack on the bum. Good game.
Yeah, okay.
Well, everyone should know who you are, and we kind of hinted at the beginning, but for those who don't, please tell everyone about your podcast, where they can find you, all those details. You don't have to do a quick thing. I do want to know, basically what your podcast is about. Explain it. Give us the good elevator pitch.
We're a Destiny podcast that try and collate as much information of the week as possible, including the Twab and anything else that's going on, and any tips, tricks, and guides that we found during that week to help any of the Guardians out. And then we just put it in a show and reiterate it to everybody else. Does that help?
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm still going strong. Episode 128.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think any week's really a drag. I think I'm always struggling to not put something in. There's always something to go in the show, even when there isn't a Twab. There's always something that week that maybe a Redditor has discovered that isn't very visible to everybody else, or there's a Twitter post that's a relevant topic which is nice to talk about. So there's always something there to kind of go over.
You're totally right. And it gives me inspiration again, because even though I never had desire myself to go through a million YouTube videos, which I really appreciate you guys do, and you have all the links, which is so amazing. But I used to go through Reddit posts more, and I do most nights of the week before I go to bed. I'll browse Reddit and Destiny raid secrets is one of the ones I browse. And why am I not talking about this more on the podcast? I should save some of these posts.
Yeah, I mean, if you see something interesting, because to be honest, I don't have that much time to do everything. And I get a lot of posts pop up on Reddit, and sometimes I can cover it and sometimes I can't. But yeah, it's the more people that are kind of sharing the information, the more helpful it is to the whole community.
Yeah.
I mean, last week on the show, I still haven't seen anybody talk about it. But the last expunge mission where we had to go against Courier, there's a triumph to do flawless and flawless solo. If you do it flawless with a group, you can still get that 0 Nero shell. But if you do it flawless and by yourself, you just get triumph score. But there's an actual cheese spot at the back of the map that I found that I haven't seen anybody else talk about. So I made sure that I'd recorded it and put it in the YouTube version of the show and timed it at the same time that we were talking about it. So if anybody did want to go and look at it. But if you can manage to get to the bit where Courier, you start fighting Courier and you've already done it like flawless to that point. If you then take her down as much as you can, take out the 2 enemies that are either side by dunking the balls. If you've got that far to the point where she's shooting those huge square laser things at you, if you run around the map, and let's say, for instance, you're facing her when you first drop down, if you run around to the left, that's the place that I found, where the grav cannon is, there's the box that you dunk the first one of those balls in. You can hide behind that box, and there's a sliver of gap in that middle area that she's like turning around in, that she can't turn and hit you with those big square things, but you can hit her. And I used the Vorpal Dead Man's Tail to shoot her through her shields with the anti-barrier on, and just sat there and just chipped away at her until she just went down. But I didn't do it on the first run. I discovered this cheese spot, and the good thing about the cheese spot is that the enemies that she keeps spawning in, there's loads of taken things, can't see you from where you're sitting that so far back on the map, that they can't snipe you, she can't hit you. I think I moved out slightly towards the end of the video, and she started firing those big cubes at me, but it was literally the last couple of shots and she'd gone down, and she threw it. I think I moved out slightly. But when I went back and did it, again, I went to the same spot and just sat there, and it just went perfect for me. But yeah, things like that, if anybody can see anything that's happening or finds a good thing to share in the community, I'm all over that.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, back in my day, Sin and I had to do it legit.
Yes, we did. And in fact, I think I died the first run, like at the what are the red? Those red things that come at you a million miles an hour, those sliders, those walls of doom.
Yeah.
And then
The end, right at the end,
yeah. I think you were able to stay alive. And the next run, I stayed a little bit more safe, and I think you did a lot more of the dirty work. So it worked out. 2 runs, we got it done.
Yeah, the first run was going perfect for me. I'd done flawless up to the point where there's a rally flag just before you go to that final portal. I rally flagged, went into my inventory to see what I needed to swap out for, because at that point I was using a sword. And I thought, I'll put a rocket on, because surely this boss is going to be at a distance. I'll use a rocket. And where I was in my inventory, I hadn't kind of clocked my surroundings. I got wall blasted off the edge of the map, and I was like, oh, God. No. There goes my flawless version. But yeah.
I was actually able to struggle through to get solo flawless myself, and I found some interesting.
Just keep moving around that map. Did you find that easier?
I found out because I think I was talking to Kato afterwards. Because when I first did it, I did it with him. Because I was catching up, and he just joined along while I was catching up through the Splicer missions. And the first time, the way he kind of did it with me, whenever Courier first puts up the shield, we took care of both of the Minotaurs.
Yeah.
But I found that kind of skips a phase because that sends Curia directly into the red block phase. But if you take one Minotaur down, you can do damage to Curia.
Ah, okay. I didn't know that.
And then Curia will throw up another immunity shield, and then you take down the other Minotaur, which actually, like I said, it's a smaller health bar that he starts throwing out the blocks.
Okay,
I have noticed one interesting thing is that because being a hunter and using breach and clear and Argent Ordnance rockets, as soon as I deposited the ball, I would actually pelt the boss from that spot, or the Minotaur from that spot, and then I would get Curia's attention, which is actually how I did it flawless. And I got Curia's attention because I noticed in one of my failed runs, because it took me around 10 runs to get everything down. But I noticed, like I said, Curia will throw the red blocks with wherever you're standing. So I was standing at where you deposit the ball. I would take the man cannon back to the front position, which dodged the red walls, and Curia would still focus on the spot where I was. So I was able to breach and clear, throw a couple rockets, and finish it off. So
yeah,
nice
tips and tricks.
Yeah.
And also, I will say, because like I said, y'all try and gather a bunch of information. It was like a huge honor when y'all covered the spreadsheet and explained it in such a great way. Like y'all had everything like just perfect with intentions and everything. So that was fantastic, and thank you.
So you put a lot of hard work and effort into it.
Yeah. Not gonna argue with that. It's a lot of effort.
Yeah, well, we definitely appreciate you guys and appreciate you coming on tonight to join us as I don't know, I just kind of forced you in.
Yeah, you did.
That's what she said.
Well, you tricked me with, come and join our live show. And I thought, I'm up at work. I might as well kind of go and join them. And then, you lured me in.
I lured you in, yes. Oh, there's a Destiny podcast. Okay.
We got Kingsley's MO now.
Uh-huh. You too can be a guest last minute on the Guardian Hub if you're lucky.
Right.
You know what? I am really surprised that Respawn hasn't clocked me in whatever chat and gone, I'm going to jump in on that. He normally does.
Oh, boy. Well, I don't think he has access. So you were in our pre-recording, our old podcast recording channel, since he hasn't been a guest with... Wait, did we record our big one through Guardian Down? I think. So I don't know if he has access to our channels, what I'm getting at.
It doesn't matter whether he has access or not. I'm surprised he hasn't sent anybody a message and gone, invite me.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, we better start wrapping up for this evening, your morning, and let you get back to more work and us get back to sleep or game or whatever we're doing. But again, we appreciate you, helping crash the show with the invite. Right. And please tell everyone, you kind of explained it, but did you give all your links and everything yet?
No, I think if you just search 2 Titans and a Hunter, it kind of comes up on Google.
It does.
I don't think anyone else.
I tried that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, you can do that, and that finds it.
Yes, I recommend everyone do that. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet through your podcast listener, do so. Download their shows, listen to their shows.
Podcast app of choice.
You don't have to be one of the people that say, I don't have time to go back and listen to every episode. At least just start listening to the current episodes and then go back when you have time.
I do find that crazy when people contact us and go, I've listened to the first couple of episodes recently, and I've now gone back to the beginning. I'm like, why? Why would you
Why
do that? Why would you do that to yourself?
It's insanity.
It is.
Yeah. Well, excellent. I guess we're having such a good time, but I guess we'll close up. Sin, where can people get a hold of you?
They can find me on Twitter at sin_media or over on the Discord, sitting next to DesRaven, passing the blue buff.
I'm freaked out now.
Holy crap!
It's definitely been a time since you've been in the club. How come you haven't been in the club?
Yeah,
Right.
where's the club, Sin?
Maybe next week.
Oh, okay.
I haven't
Just
left
mix
the
it.
house, if you haven't noticed.
Well, I suppose so. Yeah, you've had COVID. Yeah.
DesRaven, where can they find you?
You can find me as always through the myriad of discords that I've been roped into, and on Twitter occasionally at des_raven, which is the primary home of that monstrosity of a work I call my spreadsheet. So yeah, Kingsley.
Yes, and definitely check out the spreadsheet yet. Please just spend the time, click on the link, open it up, check it out. You don't have to worry about going through all the details at first, but know that it's there so that you'll reference it again in the future.
Yeah, it's good weapon stuff in there.
Mm-hmm. And Google Docs makes that easy, right? Once you click on something, it's in your history. You can just have it there, easy to get.
And if you want it super easy, you can star it, which creates
Yeah.
it's in an entire special section.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So please do that. You can find me as KingsleyMac all the places. I occasionally stream on Twitch, mostly while I'm raiding, but on Twitter I'm MC Kingsley. You can find our show on Twitter as The Guardian Hub, or through our lovely website, theguardianhub.com.
The best hub on the net.
Well, thank you, Sen, for that. Thank you, Des. Thank you very much, Nitedemon, for all being here this week. And everyone, let's say goodbye to everyone listening. Everyone have a good week, and we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.